Hey, what's up, y'all? So yeah, and it is time to go ahead and update my college football top 25 going into week 11. So yeah, of course we're gonna start by going over last week's poll. Anyway, so last week we had at number 25 UCF 24, Washington 23, Oregon State 22, Tulane 21, NC State 20, Oklahoma State 19, Kansas State 18, Wake Forest 17, Syracuse 16, Penn State 15, LSU 14, Illinois 13, North Carolina. Let's see, 12 Utah, 11 UCLA, 10 Ole Miss, 9 USC, 8 Oregon, 7 Alabama, 6 TCU, 5 Clemson, 4 Michigan, 3 Ohio State, 1 Tennessee, excuse me, yeah, 3 Ohio State, 2 Tennessee, and 1 Georgia. Okay, so anyway, so we do have some big changes in this week's poll. So yes, lots of shakeups. So yeah, there were what was it like five five teams from last week's poll who I eliminated after they lost. Yes, a bunch of 2-loss teams that just took their third loss, so they went out. Anyway, so that was Oregon State, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Wake Forest, and Syracuse. I dropped all of them out. I think it was Oregon State lost to Washington, Oklahoma State lost to Kansas, right? Kansas State lost to Texas, Wake Forest lost to NC State, and Syracuse lost to Pitt. So anyway, so we'll have 5 new teams. So anyway, let's go ahead and pull up the first 9. So we're gonna do 25 to 17. So yes, at number 25, I did put Florida State, 24 Texas, and 23 Notre Dame. And yes, these are my first 3-loss teams that I have put in my top 25 this year. So now Florida State, I know that they had gone through a rough patch recently where they lost 3 games, but now they've won 2 in a row, and I mean they've just completely demolished Georgia Tech and Miami. Plus they did beat LSU in week 1. That's why I got them at number 25. Let's see, 24, I have Texas. Yes, I was impressed by their win against Kansas State. Anyway, so yeah, obviously, I do think that Texas is playing their best football right now. Yes, they are a better team when Quinn Ewers plays. So anyway, but I know they lost to Oklahoma State, but I mean, I just couldn't, let Oklahoma State, off for, getting blown out by Kansas State and Kansas. No, so I had to throw them out. That's why, even though they had the same record, Oklahoma beat Texas head to head. I just do think that Texas is playing um, better football right now. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Oklahoma State, but yeah. So anyway, so then and at 23, I've had Notre Dame. Yes, they do have losses to Marshall and Stanford. But I do feel like, well, like they really redeemed themselves with this win against Clemson, so who was previously unbeaten, and then plus they also beat North Carolina um, earlier in the year. So yeah, so it's time to rank Notre Dame. Again, I think it did have them ranked earlier in the season, right after they beat BYU. But so anyway, so now let's move on. Yes, at 22, I do have UCF. I did move them up after they beat Memphis. And then 21 and 22, of course, we got Liberty and Coastal Carolina. Yeah, so two new group of fives added to my poll. And I did decide to jump them ahead of UCF because both these teams only have one loss. UCF has two, so. But anyway, so yeah, I was really impressed with the Liberty's win against Arkansas last week. Yeah, I thought they were gonna get blown out. So and then yes, so all they have is just the 1 point loss to Wake Forest. So, and then number 20, we have Coastal Carolina. Yeah, they just beat App State. They just have one loss. So, and then let's see. And then at 19, I have Illinois. Now they fell from 14 to 19, so I did drop them down 5 places after they lost to Michigan State. So, and then let's see. And at number 18, I have Washington. I moved them all the way up from 24. I really couldn't figure out what to do with Washington. So I just, moved them up because of all the teams ahead of them that lost. I mean, yes, they did beat Oregon State, who, of course, I did have at 23 last week. So, and then number 17, Tulane. Yeah, I did move them up 5 places from 22 to 17. Again, just because of all those teams that lost in front of them. So that I threw out. I think they beat Tulane. Yeah, Tulane beat Tulsa last week. So, of course, they just have the one loss to Southern Miss. Still have the win over Kansas State. So so that's why I do have them as my highest ranked group of 5 right now. And then 16, NC State, I went ahead and moved them on up. They got the big win against Wake Forest. Right, of course, NC State still without quarterback Devin Leary, done for the year, but they did manage to win with MJ Morris. So, but anyway, so there you go, winning, just NC State, no excuses, playing with a backup quarterback, but finding a way to win anyway. So was what was impressive. So, but wait a minute, I am getting ahead of myself here, right? So I do need to put up 16 through 9. Let me do that right now. Okay. So so I already told you 16 NC State, right? So now we got number 15, Penn State. Now I did move them up one spot. Yes, because I did move LSU up. Yeah, I mean, way up. So I just had to move Penn State in to fill the void. Right? I think that they still only have just the 2 losses to Michigan and Ohio State. So, and then let's see, at number 14, I did have Utah. Yes, now here is kind of where, things get crazy. I got 14 Utah, 13 Bama, 12 North Carolina, 11 Clemson, let's see, 10 Southern Cal, and 9 UCLA. Anyway, so I did decide to drop down Clemson and Alabama. Let's see, Clemson did fall by 6 from 5 to 11, and then Bama fell. Yeah, also fell. No, wait, they fell by 7, and Alabama fell by 6 from 7 all the way down to 13. So anyway, so what I decided to do here is that in my, top 12, I wanted to only have teams that actually have a chance at making the college football playoff. I wasn't gonna put teams that are not contenders ahead of any teams that are still technically, still contenders. So that was the whole, rationale behind putting Bama all the way back to number 13 and even ranking, North Carolina ahead of them. So since Alabama, I know that they might, have a very small chance, but they might as well have no chance. They have to win out, and they would need LSU to somehow lose 2 games. They need to lose to both Arkansas and Texas A&M just for them to win the West, and then maybe they could win the SEC and still make the playoffs. But I mean, that is less than a 0.1% chance. So, but anyway, so I'm going to talk about, so again, like I just said, teams 12 all the way up to number 1 still technically, mathematically still have a chance, a realistic chance at making the playoffs if they win out. So number 12, North Carolina. Let's see. Now, of course, Alabama did just lose to LSU. That's why I dropped them down. And Clemson did just lose to Notre Dame. So, and then right behind Clemson at 12, I did put North Carolina. Uh, it looks like there's your ACC championship matchup right there. So Clemson and UNC could end up, playing for a playoff for that fourth playoff spot. So let's see now at number 10 and number 9, USC and UCLA. I know that for a while I did have UCLA ahead of USC. I guess because UCLA's loss to Oregon was more recent than USC's loss to Utah. So anyway, since now the last couple of weeks, the dust has settled. So I have decided to, since UCLA beat Utah and USC lost to Utah, that I would go ahead and put UCLA ahead of USC. So now, as for why I don't have Utah ahead of USC when they beat them, was because Utah has 2 losses. Yes, Utah's loss to Florida is really hurting them. Taking away their chances of a playoff game. Okay. Anyway, so now let's move on to the Elite 8. So anyway, number 8, I did decide to put Ole Miss. I did decide to have them jump USC because USC really didn't, look very impressive against Cal. So, meanwhile, Ole Miss was on a bye week. So, and then they still should just have the 1 loss to LSU, which is the team right ahead of them. So, yes, I did move LSU up 8 places from number 15 all the way up to number 7 after their overtime win against Alabama. So, but anyway, it looks like the West is LSU's to lose, and to lose the West, they would have to lose. Now they would have to lose to Arkansas and to Texas A&M. So, although there is also still a way for Ole Miss to get into to win the West and even make the playoffs, right? If they win out, yes, and if that includes a win over Alabama, then really all they would need is just for LSU to lose 1 game to either A&M or Arkansas, and that would give LSU 2 SEC losses. Ole Miss would only have 1, so that would put them in the playoffs. And then if they could, win the SEC championship, that would put Ole Miss in the playoffs. So, and also LSU. I think if LSU, beats Georgia in the SEC championship, well, I think that the committee will not leave out the SEC champion, even if they do have 2 losses. So anyway, so now as for so now we've got number 6. We have Tennessee. I did drop them down 4 places from 2 to 6. after they after they lost to Georgia, by 2 touchdowns. I mean, but if it hadn't been raining, if it hadn't rained in the second half, then Georgia probably wins by probably wins by 4 or 5 by more like 4 touchdowns instead of 2. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, they really did get exposed by Georgia. Anyway, they still do have a very small chance of making the playoffs if they win out, and Georgia somehow loses the SEC championship. Then Tennessee might be able to get in, depending on what happens elsewhere. But yeah, and let's talk about number 5. I did decide to put Oregon. Of course, they did have the one loss to Georgia in week 1, but they've been on a roll ever since. So they've been really good. So let's see, and now 4, 3, 2, 1. Of course, TCU, Ohio State, Michigan, and Georgia. And I think that this is everyone's top 4, right? This is all the unbeatens that remain. I mean, obviously, number 1, you've got to put Georgia. I mean, they have the 2 best wins of anyone else in the country. Obviously we have wins over 2 top 6 teams, Tennessee and in Oregon. So yeah, and so yeah, no, it's not me just being a homer. I mean, everyone. I mean, literally everyone has Georgia at number 1, and now number 2 and 3. You can argue the order. I have Michigan 2 and Ohio State 3. I mean, if you want to, put Ohio State 2 and Michigan 3, that's fine. But these 2, have to be your 2 and 3. So obviously, yeah, whoever wins between Ohio State and Michigan is gonna win the Big Ten and make the college football playoffs. So, I mean, I guess the reason why I did have Michigan ahead of Ohio State this year is because they did look better. Because Michigan did look better in their win against Rutgers than Ohio State did in their win against Northwestern. So anyway, and then number 4, you have TCU. They're still undefeated. However, it is a very shaky undefeated. Can TCU run the table? We'll just have to wait and see. But of course, they do a big game against Texas this week. So, but anyway, so that's going to be it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all again next time.